There's an active shooter situation going down in Wilmington Hospital in Delaware. I'm gonna play this clip right here in a hospital.
Breaking news coming in right now. Chopper 6 live over a developing situation here at Wilmington Hospital this afternoon. You can see a large response by police.
Your location right the parking garage next to
right
your.
now is there was some kind of incident inside that hospital. The nature of the incident not clear right now, but its severity.
Staging is my location. 12 in Washington is where they need to go. Understood. 837.
At a hospital. What the?
837. Staging for your crew is going to be at 12 in Washington. Proceed 12 in Washington.
ChristianaCare Wilmington Hospital. So a helicopter over the hospital. Reportedly a shooting in the basement. That's what some people are saying, shooting in the basement.
ChristianaCare EMT to Wilmington Hospital Command.
Wilmington Hospital Command, go ahead.
Hey, Chief, can we get a rep to come in through the ambulance EV entrance and link up with us, and we'll bring you into the unified command post that we have set up here in the hospital?
Battalion 1, can you handle that?
Battalion 1 will meet him in the underneath parking bay at the ER. Does that location work?
Yes, sir. I'll meet you there.
Police posted an update saying that it's still an active, ongoing investigation. Video shows large police presence at the scene. Police continue to search for a suspect in the area. The public is asked to avoid the area. There was a reported shooting at the hospital. A male suspect fled in an unknown direction. Okay. Anytime, anywhere, I guess. Anybody can get it. You think it's money related? Maybe. Maybe money, domestic, personal. You stole my shoe, you stepped on, I don't know, you looked at me the wrong way. Probably personal. I think it's probably, I would say like a personal. Let's see. Oh yeah, look at all those cops, man. Armed to the teeth. That's SWAT. Suspect on the loose. I've been to a few hospitals the past month and nobody's checking you. I think it depends what hospital, because I've been to some too that they don't really do much. And then I've been to Memorial where there's a lot of security, metal detector. But I mean, I'm sure it's easy for somebody to slip through the side door. Or, you know, any back entrance, whatever.
Battalion 1 or EMS 3, call my phone.
Copy.
Oh, they're going in. Going in. Lots of guns.
Battalion 1, there is a ChristianaCare transport, critical care transport that apparently has to move a patient out of the ER.
Oh.
I'm sending them underneath the parking garage where we have the 2 BLS units standing by. And I told them to back down because they won't be able to turn around. Can you have somebody facilitate that? And B-22 and A-11, make room for an ambulance to go by you.
B-22 to Battalion 5.
Go ahead.
There's a line of cars that will have to move before we can move. There's no way they're getting in here.
Okay. I'll let them know. Do what you can to facilitate it. Battalion 1, you copy?
Battalion 1 copy. Hold on. We're coming up with a plan.
Okay. So
Okay.
it seems like there's somebody in the ER. They need to move them. They need to, but they don't know where the suspect is at.
Look, Captain, now. We're moving the cars.
I guess. So they're coming up with a plan to be able to facilitate that. And the suspect reportedly is a male, has not been caught yet. Not sure if he's still inside or he's already long gone.
B-22, I get copy. That information has been relayed.
Battalion 1 to command. Be advised, have them park as close as possible and bring the stretcher to the patient, and we have enough manpower to take the stretcher back to the unit. They can't get right up on the building. That is the plan. It's been approved. The patient is stable enough to do so.
I copy. They were advised of that. They're going to go up on Jefferson, come underneath the parking garage, and get as close as they can.
Battalion 1 copy. Be advised, we're in the Public Safety Manager's office, label 1 Nancy 60. Unified Command.
So the shooting happened earlier today, I guess. Reports started coming through the scanner traffic at around 12:35 p.m. Reporting of a shooting and a possible active shooter at ChristianaCare Wilmington Hospital on West 14th Street, Delaware. And the shooting occurred inside of the hospital. Reports are saying in the basement. They're saying reportedly at least two people shot. One victim, oh wow. One victim was shot in the neck, another in the upper body. The suspect is not in custody and is at large. So they're saying they have Wilmington Police, Delaware State Police, Wilmington Fire Department, Castle County paramedics. The whole hospital's on lockdown, obviously. And the emergency department is on divert. They're not taking any patients, So this hospital, it's a 321 bed hospital, fully modernized. It's a historic facility and Wilmington landmark since 1890. Serves as ChristianaCare's corporate headquarters. It has a full emergency department with a helipad and aerial medical transport capabilities, a level 3 trauma. Yeah.
Trying to clear out underneath the parking garage, but I need somebody to handle that. If you need additional manpower, I will send you.
Copy. When I have numbers and priorities, I'll advise.
Okay, and just to be clear, none of these are related that we're aware of to this event. They are separate patients that were already here.
Thank you, Christina. Appreciate that. Had a rough start to the stream. Sorry about that again.
EMS 3 to command. That's Battalion 1 and EMS 1 at Unified Command. I'll be down in the ER, and I'll make a face-to-face and find out that information for you.
Oh, I forgot. Yes.
EMS 3, okay, thank you.
Rumble. I got you guys. Okay. See if we can hear a little bit. Let's start it over. Let's see if there's anybody still alive on Citizen. They got off. It says no further this was 5 minutes ago. They say no further information has been given regarding the suspect since the initial reports of the man fleeing the scene, possibly somewhere inside of the building or outside. So the suspect is still at large.
EMS 3, command.
EMS 3, go ahead.
We 2 going from the hospital, 1 from the OR, 1 from the ER.
All right, copy. Father.
Battalion 1 can confirm that report. 1 trauma from the ER and 1 from the OR. The OR transport is on scene is what I'm being.
Okay, Battalion 1, talk with the PD and make sure that if they want somebody to go, they need to be down with the victim. Forward, I need you to contact ChristianaCare Communications. Tell the 2nd critical care transport unit that's coming here. They need to access Jefferson underneath the parking garage. And they're going to have to move the stretcher in, and we will provide manpower to help get them back.
So it looks like they're trying to move a patient. They're taking precautions because they don't
Wilmington
know
Hospital, command.
where the suspect is.
Receive, Wilmington Hospital, command. Receive, Wilmington Hospital, command.
Hell, a deja vu.
Receive, Wilmington Hospital, command.
Am I tripping?
Receive, Wilmington Hospital, command.
Wow. Okay, let me refresh that. A bad acid trip. Let's try to start that again.
Finally, car shopping.
Oh, I gotta log in. Okay.
Receive, Wilmington Hospital, command.
Damn, I guess the thing like shut down or something's glitched.
Receive, Wilmington Hospital.
Wow. What the hell? Everything's going wrong. Here we got other lives. We got other live streams. Okay, we got. Oh, they got off. Oh, that was a different situation. Okay. Patricia, thank you so much for the 10. Appreciate the support. Thank you. Thank you. No drama. Thank you. You always get the breaking news before every news station network. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Man, yeah, even at the hospital, it's got to be kind of scary if you're a patient over there. I don't know. If I could stand, I'd probably try to barricade the door, move all the furniture to the door. See if they got any updates. No updates yet. Okay. Wilmington. Somebody posted a snippet from the inside of the hospital. Let's take a look at that. Let's see. Is this real? I gotta fix all this stuff. There we go. Oh, they got music on it. It looks like, I don't know, it looks like from the inside, people scrambling, running. People sitting in, I don't know if that's the emergency room or... Wow.
Hostage situation at Wilmington.
We begin here with the latest on that breaking news we've been following for much of the last half hour at Wilmington Hospital, where there is, as we've shown you, a large police presence right now following what we can now confirm was a shooting inside the hospital. Chopper 6 now live over the scene. We've seen numerous police response of vehicles there on the scene. This is the 500 block of West 14th Street.
It really is incredible, the number of police officers here on the scene, both at the ground level and up above. You can see on the garage there. If we go to a ground shot, you can get another perspective of just how many officers have responded to this shooting at Wilmington Hospital in the 500 block of West 14th Street. A lot we don't know here yet, exactly who was shot or how many people were shot or the conditions that they may be, the conditions they are in at this very moment. But we do know there has been a shooting reported here inside Wilmington Hospital in the 500 block of West 14th Street. This was first reported less than 45 minutes ago at about 3:45. So we have a reporter on the way there to the scene where we are hoping to get.
See on the main screen, I guess they're evacuating. I don't know why they got their hands up. Somebody shared a text message on Facebook and said that active shooter in the building. 2 of our IT staff got shot. Why the IT? That's weird. If that's true, really weird. Because IT is pretty like low key, especially in the hospital. Like,
And we advise we resuscitated the patient. There's only one patient that needs transport as of now. There's only one patient that needs transport, and that patient is from the MCI. Unit is on scene. They've been told to back in from Jefferson, get as close as possible, and bring the stretcher to the ER entrance.
Okay. That was already done. They should be in the ER by now. And I need you to call my phone.
EMS 3 confirming the transport unit is in the ER with the patient.
Crazy times we're in, man. At the hospital. No regard. Looks like staff there too in the green scrubs. Got some law enforcement coming out. I wonder if they know who the suspect is. Someone posted this on my Facebook. Okay, let me take a look. Oh, yeah, it's the text message I saw. Here in Wilmington, how many shots? Reportedly 2 in a basement, but that's unconfirmed. Somebody here said, again, take this with a grain of salt till we get confirmed information, but somebody had said reports of 2 victims have been confirmed, with a possible 3rd victim also being reported. Suspect not in custody. Still no updates. Oh, another situation. Man reportedly shot woman in apartment.
The B-22.
B-22.
I need your crew and A-11 to go into the ambulance bay and see Battalion Chief Hines, Battalion 1. He has an assignment for you. No equipment needed other than gloves. See Battalion Hines.
We're all going in now.
Wonder if the suspect's not even alive. Did they take themselves out after the shooting? Ran off and take themselves out. More people being evacuated.
B-22 to Battalion 1.
Battalion 1's in right, having access issues.
We're inside. Where's your location?
ChristianaCare to the parking lot.
Battalion 1.
Battalion 1.
ChristianaCare has another critical care transport unit here. I'm having them go to the Jefferson Street entrance under the parking garage and then walk up and see either yourself or EMS 3. I think it's confusion and we don't need them, but I'm having them come to you just to confirm.
Ooh, look at the Bearcat.
Copy. It is confusion. Have them staged. We have the situation under control. There was one patient and there was a second patient not involved in the incident that was on scene prior to the MCI that was stuck in the ambulance transport bag.
Okay. Firefighter Cologne, hold on my last, have them staged right here.
The city of Wilmington posted on Facebook and said 8 minutes ago, update number 1, this remains an active and ongoing investigation and the public is urged to avoid the area. Update number 2, at this time, police have located 2 gunshot victims. So that's confirmed, 2 gunshot victims. The hospital remains on lockdown and they're asking the public to avoid the area. Somebody also posted on Facebook and said to get a call from my mom crying because an active shooter at her job, which is a effing hospital. It's so effing insane to me. I'm so happy she made it out safely. I don't know who got shot, what the motive could be. There was somebody had claimed 2 people in the IT department. I don't know if that's true.
No. This was the person that was stuck in the ambulance back.
Okay, very good.
Chopper's leaving. No. check the Citizen again, see what's going on. Oh, we got another live on Citizen. So let me do this maneuvering thing that I did. Okay. Oh, they got off. They got off, but I'll play the video. They went on for a little bit. And then we'll see if I can find another news station, maybe with a live. It's the same person. Shooter situation with the suspect still on the loose. But I'll take a look at that after. Let me see if there's any other live feeds, any news stations on the ground. Let's see, we got this guy here. Oh no.
B-22, come in.
We begin here with the latest on the breaking news we've been following for much of the last half hour.
Correspondent has been completed. We're returning back to station.
As we've shown you a large police presence right now, following what we can now confirm.
Are you and V11 boxed in?
The hospital, Chopper 6 now live over the scene.
That's affirmative. Our egress is totally blocked off.
Okay.
B-22 to command.
Go ahead.
They're actively clearing Wilmington Police units now, so we have an egress.
Okay.
So it looks like they're just clearing out the hospital. They posted a something on their website. We're aware of the shooting that occurred at the hospital on campus. The emergency room is on divert. We're working closely with law enforcement to take the appropriate steps. And this is an active police investigation for a possible active shooter. So suspects on the loose, choppers left. Oh, ABC. Let's take a look. For now, they talk a little news hit.
being cared for within the confines of the hospital. So it looks like we might be able to play this video one more time here, where we hopefully can see some of those staff members exiting the hospital. I don't know if we could get that to play right now, but again, you see all of those police officers and those vehicles that are out there surrounding both the main entrance as well as the emergency entrance. So this is just a very busy scene right now. Skyforce 10 had to go down to refuel. We're going to hopefully have some more live pictures coming up for you in a few minutes. But from what I could see, Jackie and Lena, it looked more like staff or family members, not necessarily patients.
All right, Matt, thank you so much. NBC 10's Johnny Archer is on the scene. He joins us now live with the very latest. You just spoke with Wilmington Police. Johnny, describe what you're seeing. Do we have Johnny?
Johnny Archer, we're told, was live on the scene. We saw him a few minutes ago talking to someone from Wilmington Police, trying to get him back. Until then, Matt, we know that, oh, there we do have Johnny now. Johnny Archer, if you can hear us. Yep. Jackie and Lena here. Yeah. We saw you speaking earlier to somebody from Wilmington Police. What is the latest of what you know right now?
Yeah, so we just spoke to Wilmington Police about 5 minutes ago, and they tell us that 2 people were shot inside the hospital. They wouldn't give us any information about the shooter or shooters in this case. But as you can see behind me, we're outside the main entrance of Wilmington Hospital, and you can see there is a very, very large police presence. Wilmington Police obviously here, state police are here, federal agents are here as well. So a number of different agencies. Where we are is at 12th and Jefferson Street, and what you can't see, there are more first responders around the block on 12th Street. What's that? I'm sorry, what was that? Okay. So there's a number of first responders around 12th Street, which you can't see. But we are still trying to figure out exactly what happened, who was shot. Police would not give us any information about whether this was a patients that were shot, employees that were shot, and they said they, at this time, we're not going to release that information until a little bit later. We are expecting Wilmington Police to give us an update later this afternoon, possibly evening, once they start to figure out what's going on. But they would not say there is still a shooter there or not. But they say this is an active situation. Obviously, you can see that with the number of police out here right now. But I will tell you, we got a screenshot from an employee who was there when the shooting happened, and they got a text message, an alert telling them that there was a shooting inside the hospital around 3:40, and that 2 people had been shot. Now, I don't know if you've heard the Broadcastify. Jacqueline, have you heard the Broadcastify yet? Jacqueline?
If they could put my mic up, there we go. We did hear that Broadcastify, where we heard that there were 2 people who were shot, referencing one person was shot in the neck, the other person shot in the upper body. Is that what you're referring to?
That's correct, Jacqueline. Yeah, so the Broadcastify, and obviously, things can change when you hear the initial radio chatter, as we call it. Things can change. That is not an official, statement from first responders, but that does give you an indication of the severity of the situation. When somebody and 911 dispatcher says that somebody is shot in the neck, you can get a good understanding of the severity of this situation. But again, what Wilmington Police, they would not confirm their condition, where they were shot, why they were shot, or who the 2 victims were in this case, or how many shooters, or just shooter singular, in this situation. But I can tell you this is a very active situation out here with a lot of first responders. We're just trying to pick up the pieces. Again, we got out here about 15, 20 minutes ago to the scene, and just trying to figure out exactly what's happening and get as much information for you as we can.
Johnny, we've been playing video of what looks like dozens of people walking out of the hospital with their hands up. Obviously, that's something that you do to make sure that you are safe. And officers, this is something that you would see in an active shooter situation. Did those people pass you? Did you see those people, or is that at another entrance of the hospital?
Yeah, I did not see anybody with their hands up. I don't know how long ago you saw that, but we're at the main entrance. The only person that I saw coming out of the hospital about 5 minutes ago was somebody on a gurney being taken into or put into an ambulance. Now, I don't know if that person was injured from the shooting or if they're just a patient that needed to be transported to another facility. But let me get out of the way as this police car drives by. That is a Delaware State Police SUV that just drove by us there. Going back to the patients, the Wilmington Hospital officials tell us that the hospital is on lockdown, and I asked Wilmington Police, what exactly does that mean? Does that mean nobody can go in and nobody can come out of the facility? He could not tell us what exactly that meant. I asked about, what does this mean for the patients that are already there that need medical care? So he referred me to ask Wilmington Hospital officials that question. And again, I just got done talking to Wilmington Police about 5-10 minutes ago, so I haven't even had the chance to reach out to Wilmington Hospital officials to find out what happens to the other patients, people that need emergency care. What facilities are they being taken to at this point? Because obviously, as this is the building is on lockdown, you can't bring people in there unless obviously you're a first responder, a police officer, or EMT or somebody of that nature.
Sure. We do have a statement from ChristianaCare saying that they're working closely with law enforcement and taking all appropriate steps to ensure the safety of patients, caregivers, and visitors, reminding people that this is an active investigation and that the hospital is on lockdown. And Matt also saying that he didn't see any patients being put in ambulances or on gurneys being taken out of the hospital. So you could assume that they're still getting care inside the hospital. Johnny, thank you so much. We'll come to you as soon as you have new information.
And that hospital on lockdown. Go ahead, Johnny.
And I just want to add one more thing, that police are telling people to avoid this area, as Ernie is actually zooming in on this state trooper down here, and you can see that he is in looks like military gear and about to put on some tactical gear. Yeah, you do see some staff coming out to the right there in their scrubs. So it looks like they're actually going into the parking lot to the right there. So yeah, it looks like they're actually letting some people out of the hospital at this point. But I just wanted to back up again what Wilmington Police were telling me earlier, is that this area, they're asking people to avoid this area because there's several streets that are obviously blocked off for what's going on, and the number of first responders that are out here. Hey, Ernie, I actually want you to pan over there. It looks like, look at this. If you pan to the right there, I mean, you just get a good idea of this type of response that they've called out here. You can see that armored vehicle there that is parked to the side. That just gives you an idea of the
information received and disseminated.
The staff and the first responders that were called out here. And Ernie, if you pan to the left again, I just want you to see the state trooper over here getting dressed up in his tactical gear. As you can see, he's about to put that on right
Johnny,
now, ladies.
Clearly a high-level response here, and we saw the response, the contingents of police cars that arrived on this scene. But we can say also that there doesn't seem to be a sense of urgency either with those entering the hospital or those staff members who just exited, casually strolling. The last we heard, though, there was no suspect in custody, and it was unknown whether there were one or two suspects, just that 2 individuals had been shot.
I think Johnny's trying to speak to him.
Yeah, he's trying to gather more information. But again, Wilmington Hospital, ChristianaCare, we know is on lockdown. There was a huge police response and a police presence there on scene because of the 2 people who had been shot. We initially heard they were in the basement, and we saw some people evacuating that hospital.
Let's send it now to Matt DeLucia in the Live Center. What are you learning now, Matt? I know there's so much news gathering happening in the newsroom right now. We're trying to talk to as many people as possible. What are you learning?
Yeah, well, as we saw there, a couple of people in scrubs, so presumably people from the hospital who were evacuating there just a moment ago. And we have seen several rounds of people walking out of the hospital. Again, this is video from a few minutes ago of people walking out. And as I mentioned, it looked like some of them have some ID tags. So could be employees who are walking out of that main entrance within the past 15 to 20 minutes and toward a parking garage. So again, the hospital itself is still on lockdown and still on divert. Again, that's the word that we've gotten directly from ChristianaCare, which operates Wilmington Hospital. So one of the things that Jacqueline and Lena, that you were asking Johnny, was about the other hospitals in the area. So I've been working on my iPad here and trying to find some of those other hospitals. I mean, when you have a life-threatening medical emergency, you want to get to the nearest hospital as quickly as possible. Of course, as far as Children's Hospital, Nemours Children is a couple of miles away. There's a St. Francis Hospital that's not too far away. There's Christiana Hospital, which is about 7 miles away. So again, when seconds count, that is definitely something that is important, is you want a hospital and an emergency room that is close by. So we don't know where these people are being diverted to, any patients who are calling 911, where they're going. But those are just a couple of the hospitals that are in that surrounding area where people can go in the event of an emergency. So, and we've been watching these live pictures here. So there are some streets that are shut down. Other streets, we can see traffic getting by. This is video from Skyforce 10 a little while ago. They had to go down and refuel, but they're going to be back up shortly and give us more live pictures. But we did see some police from Wilmington Police to Delaware State Police on the roof of the parking garage, as well as down on the ground. But we've got a lot of fire trucks out there as well, lending support. And as we saw in Johnny's video, we didn't see some of those armored vehicles out there as well. So police were not talking any specifics about the shooter or shooters, what the situation may be, if they're still. But the fact that they are bringing people out of the hospital, that is a good sign that they're at least letting people out. They're not locked down and in a room where they have to confine because a potential shooter might be out there still opening fire. So the fact that there's movement, that is definitely a good sign as we see people walking out into this parking garage right there. And this, again, we've had a few waves of these employees. So it looks like they're letting out a few at a time so that it's not one big rush coming out of the emergency room or coming out of that main entrance and leaving.
Yeah, there's been no description of the suspect at all besides a male. That's it. That's all I've heard. And 2 people reportedly shot and killed, I guess. Could be others. Waiting to see suspects on the loose. Hospital still on lockdown.
Key Street for a hostile MCI. All right, we're being advised now, 1 shot in the neck, 1 in the upper body.
Damn.
So again, you heard there, 1 shot in the neck, 1 shot in the upper body. As Johnny was mentioning, we have to use words of caution with this because it's so early.
Be advised, Unified Command is relocating
the situation can be very
the
fluid.
parking area.
So
Unified
we do
Command
know,
is at
confirmed,
the ER
2
parking
people have
area.
been shot, but their exact conditions, that has not been released. And Wilmington Police even told
Copy,
Johnny
area.
earlier, I would say probably about 20 minutes ago when we saw him interviewing Wilmington Police, that they're withholding the conditions of those 2 people until family members can be notified. But the big thing for the public, if you're watching here and you're in that Wilmington area, they just want people to avoid this area because it is still a very active scene. We're going to check in with Johnny again a little bit later as we get new information, Jackie and Lena. It's just been trickling in, but hopefully a resolution to all of this will be coming soon.
Matt, really, really quickly, remind us what that text was of the employee
the
inside
EMS3, go
the
ahead.
hospital. I can't imagine how frightening that was.
Yeah, 837 is down at the end of Chamberlain Street towards the second garage. Just confirm they have egress.
Okay, stand by. We're checking now.
That is crazy, dude. I got something crazy for you guys in a second.
Okay, that's 1 patient coming out, being escorted.
Mm-mm-mm.
For the employees to see pop up on their phone. And if you were in that area at the time, it's obviously very frightening when you're hearing gunfire. It's unclear how many shots were fired, but 2 people injured.
Much more to come here in terms of how frightened people.
Kelly, they have access. Go ahead and send them. They have access to get out.
They're en route.
911 command update. Be advised our 1 confirmed victim is on the move. Our 1 confirmed victim is on the move. Medical staff.
Interesting.
To the transporting unit.
1 confirmed victim on the move.
Gathering information, and just from my experience, unfortunately, covering mass shootings and active shooting situations, police wouldn't say what the situation is with the shooter. They wouldn't say what the status is. But just from my observation of how police are right now, it seems like they have things under control. If you see police are sort of just walking around, walking towards us and not towards the hospital, is a good indication that they have things under control. Just from my experience in covering these situations when they don't have things under control and there is still somebody out there possibly actively shooting or armed with a gun in the perimeter or in the area.
Okay, so AZ Intel just posted something that's interesting. Check this out. Check this out. Because somebody earlier in the chat, they were saying it's probably about money. I speculated, maybe it was like something personal. It says hospital employee opens fire at Wilmington, Delaware hospital, shooting 2 co-workers. Suspect is at large. Ain't that a bitch? Hospital employee. A co-worker, an employee, shot up the place. Wow. I used to work at the hospital, and there was this guy, I'm not going to say his name, he was a pharmacist, but everybody was kind of like a little worried about him because he would come to the hospital wearing a trench coat like all the time, every day. He'd wear sunglasses. He'd wear a hat. He had like a whole look going on. And he would just roam the hallways. Sometimes he would just ride the elevators like up and down, just start kind of like, he would just stay in the elevator. He wouldn't get off the elevator. The elevator would go up and down. He just stays on it. He would just stay on the elevator the whole time. Patients and visitors started to complain. Employees were complaining too. They never did anything though. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's because he had money. I don't know if maybe he had a mental health problem. I don't know if he threatened to sue them or something. That was one guy that I had thought that like, if somebody was going to come shoot this place up, he could do it. Oh, for sure. He could do it. I remember they complained about him too in the cafeteria because he was just like standing there. People were kind of like just, I wonder what happened to that guy. The last thing I know that happened to him, I guess one day, because at some point they had started just making him work from home. And he would come in like 1 or 2 days a week or something. And one day he got into it with a pharmacy tech. The guy was a pharmacist. He got into it with a pharmacy tech. She wasn't having it. She was upset. I was like, damn, she could take it. If he comes here and shoots people, she's the first one to get shot. Well, he got called into the office and he got reprimanded, I guess. And I heard he like lifted the chair and threw it. Just started screaming, ah! So they called security. He had to be escorted, and that was the last time I saw that guy. You never know, man. People are disgruntled, upset. I remember I did graveyard for a little while at the hospital. And I remember there was this nasty lady that most people didn't like, this pharmacy tech, because she was a snitch Always, I'm gonna tell the manager. I'm gonna tell the manager. I just go ahead. I don't give a fuck. Go tell the manager. Think I give a fuck? But she was always like just nasty and angry. I never forget that lady. And I remember one day, because I normally didn't pick up overtime, but I offered to pick up overtime. Apparently, they took her shift and gave it to me. She had picked up overtime. But then nobody wants to work with her. They didn't want to work with her. They're like, oh, we want to work with Mel. I never forget, she walked up to me one day and she's like, oh, you're the one that took my time. You owe me money. She was really greasy, too, like a greasy lady. You owe me money. I was like, what? Like, yeah, you took my overtime. Like, damn, bro. You never know with people, man. People disgruntled, disturbed. Could be over anything. It was a weird tangent.
Here that they were awaiting notification of the families before releasing their identity.
Personal.
So disturbing to hear that their likely conditions. Let's go to Matt Delusion.
Could have been a relationship too. You know, we don't know, because sometimes a lot of these people sleeping with each other. I'm not saying everybody, but like I knew in the hospital I was working at, all these people were like sleeping with each other and shit. You know, everybody just sleeping around and shit, like these YouTubers. I'm just kidding, kind of.
13th Street. I'm going to see if I can go ahead and pull up a map of this area myself. Let me just try to pull this up here on this computer so I can show you. All right, so
I wish I could show you a picture.
So this is the general vicinity of the hospital. So there is Wilmington Hospital. Even Google Maps already has it updated for the shooting right here.
You took my
so
overtime.
This right here is the emergency
what?
room entrance.
What are you talking about?
We see the closures here along Washington Street. That's to be expected. We also see closures here on South Park Drive. That is all shut down. It looks like there's some sort of a cemetery or some other field that's right here. Yeah, the Wilmington and Brandywine Cemetery. That's around the back end of this hospital. I'm not seeing any alerts of closures here along Adams Street, but we are seeing some traffic here along 12th Street. And then once you get closer to Wilmington Hospital, that's where we start to see that closure. So it looks like it's a few blocks long, at least around the hospital, because we do have a lot of emergency vehicles that are around that area. And so that is going to be the situation for a little while longer until we get more of a resolution, whether a shooter or shooters have been caught, whether everything is under control and everything is back to normal to some extent. I mean, obviously, this investigation is going to take a while.
They got fired,
I don't know if we can pan over here just to show the scene right now outside the hospital. And this was what Johnny was showing us a little while ago. And you can even see this is the parking garage. This is where we saw a lot of people going in after they were evacuated from the hospital. So we're talking about some of the staff members. Look, a couple more staff members, it appears, are leaving the hospital to try to get back to their vehicles or whatever modes of transportation they're using. But again, you see all those armored vehicles. So this was a pretty intense response for what was initially called in as an active shooter and a shooting inside the hospital perimeter. And if you got some of these police officers, they're still there in their bulletproof vests, so not taking any chances here. But again, the fact that we are seeing these staff members walking out freely without really any escort at this point from police officers, that is a good sign. Because if this was still a very active situation where a shooter is still out there, perhaps you would see a lot more of a controlled response and really not letting people outside. Because if there is a gunman who could be shooting outside, you don't want people walking around outside and potentially be in the line of fire. So it is a good sign. I'm no expert on this, but it is a good sign that we are seeing people exiting the hospital, and those definitely look like hospital workers. We see them there in their scrubs exiting toward the street here. So this is obviously been a developing story for the past couple of hours. Johnny's been out there at the scene, but that.
Yeah, man. It made me think of that story too. I don't know if you guys remember. I've mentioned this story a couple of times. There was one day in Milwaukee, like I went live. There was reports of an active shooter, and it was like mass chaos. And what ended up happening was an employee was fired / terminated that day, and the person was upset about losing their job. And so they slammed the door, I guess, a couple of times. People thought that was shots. And the building, apparently, I've never even heard of this shit before. The building has heavy self-closing doors and in the stairwells. So when that loud bang happened, people reported that shots were fired. The building went into active shooter protocol. Employees sheltered in place. The building was on lockdown. Police flooded the area. It was crazy, and all it was somebody slamming the door shut. That's all it was.
And we were pretty isolated from the whole thing. I only heard about it because one of our
across the street at 841 North Broadway. Upon arrival, officers conducted a comprehensive and thorough, very comprehensive search of this building to locate and identify any suspects involved, and there are none. So there's no information and no indication that a shooting, shots fired incident took place at this location. No victims, no suspects. However, this is still under investigation.
Okay, actually, I'd like to hear what this lady's saying.
I no sooner got out of the doors and all these police came rushing up, I think Washington Street or 14th, one of them. And so it was pretty evident that some event was happening. So I just really walked over to the bus stop for shuttle and public transportation and sat there and just watched it all.
So you were outside when this all transpired? You weren't inside the hospital at the time?
I was in, but I was making sure I got out.
So were you inside when the shooting happened? Did you hear anything or see anything?
I didn't hear anything. But I got out pretty quickly, and then, like I said, all the police cars, ambulances came running up here, and I figured, well, it's a shooter, you know. And then up there on the very top ramp, the police were up there cordoning it off. And I just watched it all and heard all of it from the bus stop.
From the bus stop. When you were inside the hospital, did any security or any personnel tell you what to do, that what's going on, or tell you to evacuate or anything of that nature?
No. But I saw all the lights. I saw all the police lights from inside. And I was pretty close to the door anyway. And so I thought, well, I'm getting the hell out of here and seeing what's going on.
Let me just pull you to your right. This car is coming by, Kathleen. I don't want you to get hit by the car.
No, I've already done that.
Just going through this whole ordeal, how are you feeling right now?
I really, really despise this whole role our country is taking. Not only the country, globally, that you don't even know where you're safe, you know. And I even had my purse stolen, almost, thank God, because that's where my money was. And I was going to go get lunch. Thankfully, I didn't. So I had walked down this way behind you, and then then I could see the top raft, the top level, and the police were up there cordoning it off, and we could see some people at the windows. I was a patient there last week till Friday. Thank God I'm out.
Well, I'm glad you're okay, Kathleen.
Oh, me too.
They cut her off.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Your situation
Thank you.
with us. Be careful. Watch your
Man,
step.
they cut
right
her
there.
off. I was kind of curious where she was going to go with that.
So, as you see or heard from Kathleen, that she was in there and exited the hospital before first responders arrived. So it sounds like she didn't hear or witness anything. But we are seeing staff members and people that are in the hospital exiting the.
Can you have one of the box ambulances?
And as you can see, there are still a lot of
come up
first
to
responders that
come up Washington Street to the side entrance to the ER.
A number,
we're going to have them take medic one back to
police
quarters.
Officers actually leaving the scene, and as I mentioned earlier, that is a good indication that first responders situation covered. But officially, Wilmington Police would not give us any information about what the status is of the shooter, and again the victims, other than 2 people have been shot inside the hospital.
It's important to know. Johnny, thank you.
Damn, I always struggle. Like, I don't want to cut somebody off or be rude. He did it so naturally. All right, thank you. I was like, oh, shit. So I guess she was there, but she didn't see anything. She said she didn't even hear the shots. Okay. Scanning and checking for new information. Two people were shot. Confirmed. I don't know if there's more. People were talking about a third person. Somebody was shot in the neck. Suspect is still on the loose. The latest bit of information that's come out, which I think is interesting, is that they're saying it was an employee, a hospital employee. That's wow.
Happening all too often.
Absolutely, Lena. So right now I have Corey Jones. He's the founder of Safety Man Consulting on the phone right now. And he does active shooter training. So Corey, can you just tell us what should people do in a situation like this where they're encountered with somebody shooting in a building?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on to provide this critical information when we just are witnessing that live crisis. People have to start thinking about this beforehand. If you're going to try to make it up on the spot, you're not going to be effective. Companies, employees, and team members need to train in identifying potential workplace violence and knowing what to do when we get any signs that it might be happening. And the federal government's already figured it out with the run, hide, fight protocol.
Right. And what we saw with some of these employees leaving the building with their hands in the air, what is that common tactic when people are being evacuated from an active shooter situation? I mean, is that a good sign when you're seeing people being evacuated from the building itself?
Absolutely. That's a great sign. From both, the more people we have out of the potentially affected area, the easier it is for law enforcement to do their critical work.
Right there is good.
Ensuring that anybody who may be injured gets critical care and ensuring that any potential further violence is stopped, and then hopefully apprehending the shooter or shooters or active bad guys. Right. Also, the reason we have people come out with their hands up is we can quickly scan them, check to make sure they don't have any weapons. If they're complying, that's good. Even if the bad guy leaves, which has happened in the past, remember, our goal at that immediate instant is to stop the violence and render care. So if we accomplish those two goals by getting everybody to come out with their hands up, leave their bags and backpacks and everything else away, we can do our job faster, reunite everybody faster, and get people safe faster.
And Corey, we don't know the specifics of this situation, the status of the shooter or shooters at this point, but the fact that we saw people coming out with their hands up and going to the parking garage, walking outside, and not being locked down and confined into a room, that I guess would be a good indicator that police do have the situation controlled to some degree.
There's two things that shows. One is that the police are responding, and if they're going to, if they didn't at the time, they're definitely going to have an easier time getting it under control. There may be some difficulty in accountability of who's supposed to be in the hospital, who's no longer in the hospital, and who hasn't been accounted for or reunited yet. So that could provide some challenges. But the good thing is that run, hide, fight is not linear. Like stop, drop, and roll if you catch on fire, that's a linear process. Run, hide, fight is you do the best course of action from where you are, where violence comes to you, or you hear violence in the area. And when you're running to leave, to evacuate, you're being prepared to hide if you have to, or to fight for your life or the lives of the people you're with. So whichever one of those three response options you choose, you're always thinking, and hopefully you've trained prior to this event, to know where at least 3 good exits are, 3 improvised or actual potential weapons to defend yourself.
I'm actually like a really kind of paranoid type of person. So a lot of times when I go out, sometimes I'm looking at the exits already because I'm thinking like, what if some shit goes down? How would I get out? Where would I run? Could I survive? Would I be dead instantly? Is there even a back door? Some of these places don't even have a back door or have a second exit. When I get a haircut, when I go to a restaurant, I think about that all the time. But the thing is, too, some people just freeze. And they're just there while some crazy shit is going down, and it's fight or flight survival. Some people's reaction, I don't know if it's nervousness or whatever, is freeze. It was one time, it's such a long story, I can't get into the whole story, but one time I was on acid a very, very, very long time ago. And I was in somebody's car. Like I was thirsty, dehydrating. It was my first time. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. It was a horrible trip. Don't recommend it. Don't do that. But I was going in somebody's car. They had like all these bottles of like water and juice or something. And I'm like, just trying to like drink little drops of whatever I could drink. And then I go and knock on the person's door.
EMS 3, that was handled. They're on the way back.
I go and knock on the person's door, and they come out, and they're like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, I back up. The person pulls out a gun. I just fucking ran. I ran. I didn't even have shoes on. That night, I ended up being in box. It's a long story. It's on my members. It's a members video I did talking about the whole thing. But I just ran. I didn't freeze. I didn't think. I didn't like, what am I? And I heard a shot. I don't think he shot at me. I think he shot in the air. I don't know. I hope he shot in the air. I think he shot in the air to like scare me or something. Some people freeze. Some people freeze. Look at Dana White. Look at Dana White at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. When the shots fire, oh my God, people are ducking. People are getting on the, oh my God. Oh no. Dana White's just sitting at the table like, he's like excited. He's like, like it's like a thrill for him. He wasn't afraid. He was just excited. It was so weird. Dana White. Or the was it the Las Vegas shooter? The Las Vegas shooter, there's no mods. Somebody said mods are cool somewhere on the power trip. Well, that's why I don't have any mods now, because yeah, it's honestly just too much of a problem. It's just too much. But was it the Las Vegas shooter? Which shooter was it? The guy from the hotel shooting down at the concert. Yeah, Stephen Paddock. Oh, damn, he killed 59 people. That's so crazy. That story was nuts. Most people ran. Most people. But I saw a video and I saw a live feed of people just standing there. And people just standing there. Like, I guess people react differently. I think it's like a nervous, I don't know. Everybody's different. Somebody had claimed too that they had an active shooter thing that day for this hospital. So I don't know if that's true though. I haven't seen anywhere else say that. Somebody online, a random person, said that they had an active shooter drill today. I don't know if that's true. But I could totally see it was the situation with the hospital, a disgruntled employee. I don't know why this person went and shot 2 people. Were they fired? Did they get a position that they didn't have? Were they made fun of? Did they take their overtime shift? The guy that lit up the whole toilet paper factory, wasn't he like a disgruntled employee too? He recorded himself lighting the toilet paper on fire, and the whole factory burned to the ground. Was that Ontario records burning? I don't know if he got fired or something. What did he say? He got fired or something. He recorded himself, 39-year-old Chamel Abdul Karim. Oh, shit. The disgruntled employee broadcasted the incident to social media while citing low wages and his motive ultimately destroying a 1.2 million square foot paper product distribution center, causing an estimated $500 million in damages. Wow. He was a temp worker? He recorded himself lighting up and everything.
This new video into our newsroom could be a critical piece of evidence in the fire that destroyed a warehouse in Ontario. It
lining up the toilet paper.
Took 175 firefighters nearly 15 hours to put this fire out. Yesterday, the contractor is now facing
Crazy. Give me 1 second. Was there audio for this?
I'm still standing by near the parking garage entrance, which is to the right there. But from all indications, just visually, what I'm seeing from police leaving the scene, the emotions and sort of the characteristics of the people here, it seems like things are under control.
Johnny, I can't imagine how terrified that person was you spoke to. Was that an employee you spoke to who heard those gunshots and immediately ran from the building?
It was. It was an employee who works in the emergency care. He is a patient. He essentially helps patients get them to where they need to be in the hospital. If you come into the hospital, if you have questions, this gentleman would be one of the people that would help you. And he was working in the emergency care, emergency room department.
Oh man, I was talking. You don't know the stories I was saying. Sorry, I was in a tangent, male tangent. We can't hear. I was just talking about with this hospital situation. I guess we're gonna have to see.
All WFD company officers come to the front of the Washington Street Ale House, including the ambulances.
We're gonna have to see what this was about. Was it a boss? Was it? I don't know. Were they in a relationship with somebody? Did they think they were in a relationship with somebody? Was it friendship?
So I stay there. I'll call you and let you know.
The last hospital I worked at, I used to do one of the things I did was NICU, neonatal babies. I was making all these like IVs for the babies and stuff, and they're always rushing you, always putting all this pressure on you. And at some point, I wasn't able to even take my lunches, and I was like tired and exhausted, and I'm if I kill somebody or make a mistake, they're not going to give a damn about, he didn't get a break. They're rushing him, doing all this kind of crazy shit. I'm having to make my own stuff and deliver my own stuff to the nurses for the babies. And I started clocking out no lunch. I said, fuck these people. They don't care about me. I started clocking out no lunch. Oh, heads were rolling. The director of pharmacy, the director of pediatrics, all chain emailing me all this shit was going on. Why not? Why? But you got to take lunch. It's 8 hours. The law. I'm not getting a lunch, so I'm clocking out. No lunch. You go fucking deal with that. Oh, they were pissed. I didn't care at that point too. It was a couple of years in. I was ready to get out of there anyway. Heads were rolling. After a while, they started making sure I was able to get a lunch. But these people, they will push you to the edge, and then you make a mistake, God forbid, and it's your ass is done. Oh, what's going on here? Was that earlier or no? Hold on.
Like this is an entrance to the parking garage that they're entering in right now.
Okay.
What they're searching for is to be determined. Again, this is all unfolding in front of us live. So they could be looking for a vehicle. They could be looking for potentially somebody involved with this. But those are all questions that we have that are going to have to be answered. Now, earlier, we heard some of the audio from the police dispatch, and the first responders were getting there to the scene. Again, this was in the first few moments. This is from Broadcastify, which records that audio. I want you to take a listen to it so you can hear what was going on in those first few seconds.
Attention all units to Wilmington Hospital, 501 West 14th Street for a hostile MCI. All right, we'll be now one shot in the neck.
This guy, well, let me let the broadcast.
We're going to begin to scale the incident back for fire and EMS units. Remaining on scene from WFD will be A3, A6, engine company number 1. Battalion 1 will now have the command at the Unified Command Post located at the ER.
Hey.
Other companies will advise you when they take up. We are going to hold the channel.
Oh, really? A Walmart employee? Damn. This clip that we keep seeing here, I know there's new people joining. They're literally playing the same clip over and over. It's like, oh, people are walking into the garage. They escorted them. They had their hands up. This is the radio clip from
command. I got
an hour ago.
86 engine company number 1, battalion 1 now has command at Unified Command. And what was the other EMS unit that's standing by?
The scanner information is actually more up to date. Actually, like
86. Engine 5, you can take up. I'll call you shortly.
Things been on repeat, it seems like, for a while.
Battalion 1, I heard A6, A3, Engine 1, and Battalion 1. Fireboard and command copy.
Fireboard copy. I copy, that is correct. I'm walking to you. Myself and 22-8 are going to try to clear some of these cars so we can get the other stuck units out.
So they're still clearing the hospital. The scanner has the more updated information. I think this, to me, seems like it's just kind of, I think they're just replaying it over and over, I guess. This NBC channel. I don't mean to go too much on a tangent, even though I love to go on a tangent. Not really
Command.
It's a breaking story, you know what I mean? But it just makes me kind of think about like the work environment that I used to be in. Not anymore, thank God, but.
For documentation purposes and command staff notification, do you have an estimated time that the hospital is going to be closed?
Shift change and secondary clearing of all floors.
Receive. I'll notify and relay.
Okay. I know, I gotta stop with the muting. I remember working at Winn-Dixie. I was getting paid $5.50 an hour a long time ago, and they started doing me wrong too. They were like, "Oh, just take your lunch at the end of the shift." All right. I did the no lunch clock out thing. Oh, I got called into the office the next day immediately. I was like, well, I mean, what's the point of taking a break at the end of my shift?
EMS 1 or EMS 3, whichever one of you brought your vehicle, can you send them the keys to the command post, please?
I walked out of a job one time, too. They called me back and told me to come back to work.
Okay.
Well, they thought something happened to me.
Okay. I just need to move it so we can get the 2 county BLS units out of here.
The first hospital job I had. Yeah, some people, man, that stuff builds up the stress.
Come in.
Come in.
ChristianaCare's vehicle marked 378. I need to either send the keys to me at the ER entrance or send somebody to move it. And then we can get some of these units out of here.
Copy. ChristianaCare Unit 378.
An update, there was an active shooting situation at the Wilmington Hospital in Delaware. Confirmed 2 people shot. Some people say maybe a third. This happened in the basement of the hospital. There's a manhunt underway. The suspect is still at large. They haven't even, I don't understand why they haven't given a description of the suspect. That might be kind of important.
A2.
You know?
A2's clear the scene, back in quarters. Switching over to 7.
They're saying
A2. Forward to command.
They're saying the shooter was an employee.
Come in.
Latest update.
All right, read the last 2 notes. WPD put in the CAD if you can. It's probably urgent.
Message, no access.
Over there, going in and out.
No,
like I said, I know the victim to the Christiana Hospital.
Did you hear the shooting?
Yeah, you could hear it.
How many shots was it?
I heard 2. Watch yourself, pass. I heard 2, but I didn't stick around for any more. I got out of there.
And what did it sound like?
Gunshots, like loud bangs.
You want me to tell you something?
Almost like firecrackers. Pretty intense, you know.
So you heard the shooting and then you ran?
Yeah, I just got out of there. I mean, they in a class they tell you like when something like that happens, just leave.
There you
just
go.
get out.
It's crazy they have to have classes
plus your
for that.
instincts take over. I'm not going to stick around. You know, I want to
Tell
get out
people
of
to
there.
run and leave the
It's scary.
situation.
It's scary for everyone involved. Like there's still people in there that can't get out because they got it on lockdown. God forbid, like, you know, they're probably terrified.
What is going on through your mind when you hear gunshots at your place of work?
You know, look, I don't know, like just craziness, just absolute craziness. Because like I told her, this is supposed to be a place for people to be safe, you know, and I don't have the answers. I'm not a politician, but somebody needs to figure something out. This is a problem in America. You don't hear about this everywhere else. So I mean, there's got to be something done. You know, I'm looking at the camera. You guys got to do something. This is unacceptable.
The thing is,
certainly a very scary situation for that gentleman and so many people that were in the hospital at the time. And fortunately, if there is silver lining, according to police, at least from the information that we have now, nobody was killed in this situation. But you are looking at another parking garage, and you see a lot of people driving away right now. We are told that the hospital is under lockdown, but we've noticed a lot of people exiting the hospital, and it appears that some of these people have gotten in their cars, and now they are leaving the hospital campus, which I don't want to speak for anybody, but it must be a sense of relief to be in their cars and to be able to leave and go back home or to wherever they're going with their loved ones or friends. But as this night is progressing, okay, actually, hold on. Before I get to that point, Ernie, you're going to pan to the right there. There's that team of state troopers in tactical gear at that second garage that I was mentioning. There's 2 officers. You can see them with long rifles there. There were 2 teams of officers that went in that parking garage. We don't know why, but those are 2 of the officers that were part of that tactical team in their tactical gear and with their long rifles. We don't know why and what the outcome of that part of the investigation is, but we will certainly follow up on that when we speak to police a little later tonight. But again, just from my observation, it looks like things are under control. People are leaving the scene. Police are leaving the scene. People that were in the hospital are able to leave the scene. But still a very active situation out here, and police are advising people to stay away from this area if possible.
Okay, our Johnny Archer live on the scene at ChristianaCare.
Okay, so even though the suspect's still on the loose, Things are calming down. And the people, they're not dead. I thought maybe one person died, or I thought it was one or two, but they were just shot. Somebody was shot in the neck. And the witness too, he was talking about, like, I'm looking at you. I'm not a politician. I don't have the answer. The politicians don't have the answers. Politicians don't have the answers. And the thing is, a lot of these, I shouldn't say a lot, but sometimes people are just crazy. It might not have anything to do with politics. Maybe it does. Maybe the person wore a Trump thing or something. I don't know. It might not have nothing to do with politics. It could just be this person disgruntled, hated this people for whatever reason, and decided to make his move that day. And apparently, I don't know if you guys heard about this too. I didn't get to cover this earlier, but the UFC fight, apparently there was a plot to attack. Was it supposed to be during the UFC? I don't know. Heavily armed TikTokers plot. TikTokers? Jeez. Heavily armed TikTokers? Is that what they said? I can't stand this. Hold on. TikTokers? Oh, man. Heavily armed TikTokers. They can't even talk like adults over there. They got to say pew pew. Where I don't even know where the article went. Heavily armed TikTokers. All right. Give me a second to find it.
For the time being, it's not too far away from I-95, so it is pretty close to I-95. But again, it is good to see some of those vehicles starting to leave, presumably some of those employees. I want to go ahead, if we can pan over here to this monitor, I want to go ahead and show you some of those live pictures that we have been watching from Johnny's camera, from Skyforce 10. So a lot of activity still going on now, well over 2 hours, now about 2.5 hours since all of this happened. So as we look at Skyforce 10 right here, we can still see some ambulances, some emergency vehicles that are out there, and still some police that are there by 12th Street, as I can see it right there. So there are still those street closures that I just mentioned a moment ago, but we do see here on 12th.
Yeah, traffic's starting to move on. Yeah, I'll follow up later. I don't have to do a press conference or some kind of follow up. We'll do an update on this story later or tomorrow, whenever it comes out. But yeah, in case you didn't hear, I had heard about this. I hadn't had time to read it, but apparently there was a foiled attack. Freedom 250 White House attack suspect posted wild anti-Trump, anti-Semitic TikTok memes. One of the nut jobs charged with planning the attack posted scores of anti-Trump, white supremacist, anti-Semitic videos on TikTok, as the federal government says the plotters use social media to help organize. Of course, Brian Omar Raw 24 filled his TikTok with reposts from like-minded accounts that called for violent revolution in America and destruction of the government. The people calling you an extremist are eating babies. Oh, adrenochrome. One post read, with the text laid over the helmet of a Crusader knight and a double-headed eagle, two images often co-opted by white supremacists and neo-Nazis. Another video showed showed a Trump Make America Great Again flag being pitched into a fire alongside with a German song, Erica, one of the Nazis' preferred marching songs during the World War II. Okay. TikTokers. Oh no, the plan was foiled. The TikTokers, but the plot was foiled days earlier on June 10th after the mother of a 19-year-old alleged conspirator, Tyson Proper of Central Ohio, reported his suspicious behavior, and the FBI was able to infiltrate online chats where the group allegedly planned, Discord, planned the attack. Court documents from federal prosecutors showed at least 19 people from 4 states, 19? California, Ohio, Missouri, Nebraska, are suspected of being involved. It remains unclear how realistically operational the plans were, but several of the suspects were found with body armor, arsenals of guns and ammunitions, video cassettes of My Little Pony, Uh, and it was social media activity similar to Roa's, which appeared to draw the alleged co-conspirators together. Wow. TikTok was largely used to recruit like-minded radicals. How are they doing this on TikTok? I don't even stream on TikTok anymore because every time I was trying to multi-stream there, they ban me every time. I can't talk like a normal human, but these people are recruiting and planning terrorist attacks on TikTok. I can't even stream over there. Wow. Members of the group were primarily recruited through TikTok. TikTok, don't stop. Oh, 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 oh. Trump wasn't the only target. Israel was repeatedly described as being an evil puppet, master controlling America through money, in a classical anti-Semitic trope. Alrighty. He denied participating in the plot to blow up the White House, with court documents showing he allegedly told investigators he merely intended to attend the protest during the event. But he was filmed shooting guns on his Instagram account and allegedly told investigators that a hypothetical drone attack at an event instead of a indiscriminate shooting would be a good way to enact political change. Damn, that is crazy. I had a feeling something could go down. Joe Rogan said he was uncomfortable. It's just a security risk. So while I did watch the fight, I was also ready to go live if I had to cover whatever kind of attack could have happened. But yeah. Anyway, I guess that's it. I'm glad that the people survived in this hospital attack, active shooter attack. That's got to be like eerie, scary, crazy. Hopefully they catch the suspect. Hopefully he doesn't kill anybody or try to kill anybody else. Real quick, last little tidbit. I saw X Alerts post this. 5 women were taken to the hospital after a car drove by and launched acid on them in Jersey City. The 5 women were standing outside of a building when a group drove by in a car, threw what police suspect to be sulfuric acid onto them. Police say they believe the women were targeted after an incident earlier involving a large group of people, but the investigation is ongoing. All 5 victims were transported to a hospital with non-life-threatening condition and treated for skin burns and peeling. Wow. Wow.
Jersey City, where 5 people are recovering after someone drove up in a vehicle and threw acid on them. This happened on Wilkinson Avenue. At this point, officials believe it was sulfuric acid that was thrown at the group. Police believe this stemmed from some kind of a dispute that happened earlier in the day. They were taken to the hospital to be treated for non-life-threatening injuries.
Okay, somebody said 7:30 press conference. 7:30. Somebody said 7:30. All right, let me take a look at that. I can just schedule a stream for 7:30. I might do it on the second page then. Let me just confirm that. I don't see anything about a press conference. Somebody said a press conference? I don't know about a press conference. I can set up a dummy live on the second page and just schedule it. And if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Huapo reported. Press conference. Okay, I'm just gonna schedule it and redirect you guys, and I'll set it for 7:30. And if it pops off, I'll go live. It's gonna be on the second page. It can mail clips. It can mail clips. 7:30. Okay, I'm gonna redirect you guys. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Okay. All right, I'm going to redirect you guys. I'm also going to drop the link in the chat. Subscribe to my second page if you're not. Ickenmo Clips. If they do a press conference update, I'll do it on the second page, and then I'll put a link to on the main and all that good stuff. All right. Catch you guys later. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Be safe. People are crazy, man. Be safe. Adios. Bloop, 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 bloop.